This video offers a structure for any writing, any essays that you are planning or which are required in any assignments that you're putting together. The important thing is to have a plan for your essay. If you don't plan, you might fail. And here are some guidelines that you might like to follow. When it comes to dot points and bullet points, then this may help you to focus on some of the arguments, but an essay should only contain the minimum of such bullet points. You may have important points to put over, but put these in sequence and prioritize them so you only have between 6 and 8. Now let's begin. The introduction should not be more than 1 page, but can be as long as 3 paragraphs. A paragraph discusses separate topics. So if you're writing a paragraph and you start to talk about a second topic, then you start a new paragraph. Paragraphs do not require headings, and we don't want a heading called introduction. So in the introduction, this is describing the point you are trying to prove. So map out your essay at the beginning and put it into the introduction. Now the main body of your paper or your essay, you build your case, you provide evidence, facts, figures, and so on. And if there are any contrary arguments, then you point these out. Avoid padding. Try to be concise. You don't get recognition or you don't get rewards for the more you write. It's the content of what you write. And then you finish off your paper with conclusions. And this is where you may be talking about recommendations. So the sections beforehand would have led up to conclusions, and here is where you finish the report with your conclusions. No new ideas, but it must be more than 1 paragraph, 1 for each topic. And then you summarize the analysis and any evidence that you have used. For presentation, you want a cover sheet, and there is a university or a UWS College cover sheet for you. Spell it correctly, complete it as well. Use Word 12 font, single-sided. There is a format sheet that is on views that you might like to look at for any writing, any reports, any assignments that you will be doing in this course. Here are some more guidelines. Please note every item. And here are some more. Proofread your work or get somebody else to do it. Spell check. Don't use abbreviations unless you explain what they mean. And staple top left corner and hand in. Here's a typical introduction. You might like to stop the video while you read this paragraph. Here are some conclusions. Again, you might like to pause this video to read this paragraph. Here is a checklist for putting your essay, your paper, your report together. Don't forget the reference list at the end and in alphabetical order. In correct Harvard reference style. And again, there are sheets on views that describe this and on the library website. Now you have to prove that the information you've used is reliable, and so you need sources. You need references of where you got this information from. It has to be reliable. One trick is to go to a search engine such as Google Scholar and search for the topic you're looking for, but put peer-reviewed after the title, and you will only get peer-reviewed journals, which are generally credible. Don't only use web pages. You may go to a web page to search out a source, but we don't want in the reference list a whole string of references from web pages. The 4 S's: search, skim. Now, skimming is where you don't read the whole article or journal, you only look at the abstract. So when you write a report and you include an abstract at the beginning of your paper, that is where people will look to skim the work that you've done. Select the right information which is relevant, and then study it, because you want to make recommendations or reach a conclusion based on the work that you have done. At university, there are expectations that you will have read widely, and so you have to be critical of any readings that you might have done, and you have to check the credibility of the sources. Now, critical reading is something people are not used to doing before they get to university. You have to question every item of information, every paper, every journal article to see, is it relevant? Do I trust it? Do I want to use it? So in your evidence, you want evidence from reliable sources, credible sources, peer-reviewed sources. And there are some search engines that you will be told are not acceptable, not credible. A summary should have all of these aspects as listed in front of you. Do not copy word for word. You write everything in your own words. Beware of plagiarism. Don't cut and paste other people's work, or you'll be accused of plagiarism. Thank you for your attention.